likes this guy named Patrick. He's kinda pathetic, so tragic. Makes the most with the little that he has. Chasing aliens and UFOs. He lost his marbles, everyone knows. Makes the most with the little that he has. Like a paper bag, he won't last. Some say he's sensational, others say he's delusional, but most agree he fucking sucks. Some say he's not the sharpest tool, others say he's just a tool, but most agree he fucking sucks. He goddamn for sure fucking sucks. No one likes this guy named Patrick. Super pathetic, dramatic, kinda believes in magic. Magic makes the most with the little that he has. Chasing aliens and UFOs. What's next? The moon is a hoax. Well, I kinda believe in that one myself. Anyway, back to the song. Makes the most with the little that he has. Like a paper bag, he won't last, but most agree he fucking sucks. Some say he's sensational, others say he's delusional, but most agree he fucking sucks. Some say he's not the sharpest tool, others say he's just a tool, but most agree he fucking sucks. He goddamn for sure fucking sucks. I got a bombshell for you. Patrick sucks and that it sucks. I got a bombshell for you. Patrick sucks and that it sucks. I got a bombshell for you. Patrick sucks and that it sucks. I got a bombshell for you. Patrick sucks and that it sucks. I got a
All right, what's up, betters? Do a little special live stream today to do a little unboxing of my 100,000 subscriber play button, and then just let's hang out. Let's hang out and go over y'all's comments and kind of give y'all the stage. I'll answer any questions if y'all want or whatever. We can talk about whatever you want. You can definitely ask me anything. But just a quick 1 hour hangout here. Nothing special. You're not going to learn any inside information. Okay, no secrets will be revealed unless it's about my, past, dancing career. Just kidding. All right. So look, let's just jump into this. What do we say, y'all? So I'm not going to show you the box because it has literally my address like all over it. But it's basically like a little small black box. But you get it like this. Okay. Can everybody see this? Boom. Let me get in there. Okay. Boom. How cool is that? It's very lightweight. Okay. It's lighter than I thought. I mean, it weighs like nothing. Like it feels hollow in a lot of ways. It's got a little plastic bag. Okay. And I did have to open it before because my lady wanted to see it. So I had to show it to her. There it is, pristine. I haven't taken it out of the plastic, so it's my first time getting out of the plastic. But look, you can even see my little setup here that I got going. So very cool, y'all. I have to admit. But that's it. It's kind of constructed. It's like a frame. That's what it feels like, a picture frame. Essentially, that's about as much as it weighs, is a picture frame. So this is the button you get for 100,000 subscribers. And then I think there's one for 1 million, and then I don't know what comes after that. I think there's one other one. There's only 3. So, you know, I already got the first one. Pretty cool. And I have to admit, it's pretty crazy. It definitely is. It's funny because I had a goal to get here. And now that I'm here, I'm like, you know, now what? Let's move on. So very cool, but I just thought it would be cool. Really, I just thought, you know, who maybe you just want to know about this kind of stuff. You know, maybe never had anyone explain like what it is, right? Like you get it, okay, you get it like this. It comes with a nice little letter. Okay, you get a letter from YouTube. And basically this company out of Oklahoma sends them out. And you get one for free. And if you want to order more, you can. You just have to pay for those. So it's pretty cool. So that's it. It says this award was inspected and packaged with great care by Rick. Thanks, Rick. Appreciate you, buddy. And then you get this letter right here. It says, do you remember your first subscriber, your 100th or your 1000th subscriber? Chances are you do. I do. And we know that you'll definitely remember your 100,000th subscriber. I do. Your fans may have found you while searching YouTube, learned about you through a friend, or maybe you showed up as a recommended video. No matter how they came to your channel, your audience stayed and their numbers increased because of you and the community you've built. We're proud to honor your impressive milestone of reaching 100,000 subscribers with the Silver Creator Award. Congratulations. We know that you have many more stories to share with your community, and we know your fans can't wait for you to amaze them even more with your commitment and creativity. So keep creating, keep building. We can't wait to see what you'll do next, and we're here to support you along the way. And who knows, when you reach your 1,000,000th subscriber, we may just write to you and ask, do you remember your 100,000th subscriber? Sincerely, Neil Mohan, YouTube CEO. So very cool. Again, very, very, very cool, y'all. This is for everybody. This is for all of us. I wish I could send everyone one of these, to be honest with you. Like, we all deserve to share in this. This is a team effort. Definitely couldn't have done this without everyone supporting the show and liking the show. And, you know, people said I would fail. You're never going to make it, Patrick. Your show sucks. You know what I mean? I still get that. You're losing subscribers. You're gonna, nobody's listening to you. Nobody care. You know what it is. It's a lesson in resilience. I don't know how old many of you guys are, but I lived a life before I ever started on YouTube. So I already knew that if you set your mind to something, you can make it happen. And I'm sure many of you guys know that. And that's all it is, right? You got to set your mind to something. Don't give up. Don't listen to anyone telling you can't do something. Just if you believe in yourself, do it. You'll find other people along the way. And to be honest, this is such an easy job. It really is. Like, I can't complain ever. And if I ever catch myself complaining, I go, dude, you sit in AC, you get to work on a computer, you get to talk to people for a living. Like, it's so much fun. Because I worked in the food industry for so long, that was hard work. And even that, I would compare, like, other people have it harder. There's probably many of you watching or have watched a video that have a much harder job than me. So kudos to y'all, respect to y'all. I wish there was awards for y'all, to be honest with you. Just, working your ass off and doing your thing and taking care of your families and, working that second job or that part-time job you got to go to, just to make it happen, make ends meet, put food on the table. I get it. And so, all the respect goes to y'all, to be honest with you, for the hard work y'all put in. And however you indulge these videos, it's much appreciated. I mean that sincerely. So thank you to everyone. And, we'll move on. We're going to move on and shoot for that 1 million subscriber button. Yeah, I am. I'm going for it. And it's probably going to take 2-3 years, I think. I don't know. This took 3 years to get. I would imagine it'll take another 2-3 years, maybe longer. I don't know, but I'm not giving up. You got to set goals. Got to set goals. I have a lot of things planned to get us there moving forward. It's oddly enough, it does put you in sort of another category on YouTube. Once you hit over 1,000, there's just something about it that it just kind of elevates you to another, area. So it is for that instance, it is a milestone to hit. But I'll be honest, there's no real difference between 99,000 and 100,000. Kind of all feels the same, but it's nice to get some recognition for sure. So, yeah, let's just jump in and start hanging out, y'all. I know this was a last second live stream, but that's kind of how I wanted to just throw it together here, just get us all hanging out. I just got that thing 2 days ago. It arrived. So, all right. I can see a bunch of comments here. Let's get to them. Crooked Peach, congrats, Patrick. What if anything do you think is out there or here? There's definitely stuff out there. We are not alone, y'all. I firmly believe that, without a doubt. I don't know it. I guess I have met some people. I can't really remember who, that have said, like, I think we might be alone in the universe. Like, are you crazy? But I guess until we have confirmation, who knows? But I just don't think that at all. I mean, that would just, like, we're the special, like, Earth, only Earth and all the universe has life on it. I don't think so. The bigger question is, are we alone on this planet? And I have to admit, I just go back and forth on it. There's some days I wake up and go, something going on, man. Something's going on. Other days I'm like, this is all bullshit, But I think at the end of the day, when I, really think about it, there is some sort of phenomenon on Earth, right? Too long, stories for too long, for thousands of years, from too many people, too many cultures, it's just too many for it to all be bullshit. So what is it? I don't know. Hopefully we can maybe all find out together one day, which is, I think, the goal, right? But like I always say, it's an individual journey. Thank you, Crooked Peach, for all the support. Really much appreciated. Congratulations, Patrick. It's a long time coming. I've enjoyed watching Vetted grow. So the question is, now what? Every post a gift, y'all. Peace. The question is, just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep making great content. Y'all have noticed, I don't know how long it's been, but I increased the production of Vetted. I spend more time on each video that I put out. I do a lot more research and grab context and clips and edit these. Some of them are really long form videos. I spend a lot of time on them, and editing them together. I try to respect what I put out, but I'm also trying to, maintain putting out multiple videos a week. And trying to retain that quality, because I do respect when someone takes time out of their busy day to click on a video and watch it. I respect that time. And, all shows are different. I'm not Chris Ramsey. I'm not Jesse Michaels. I'm not UAP Gerb. I'm not these guys. I'm vetted, right? And I do my thing. And that's one thing you got to remember in the space too. Just do your thing. I can't tell you how many times I get told, why don't you be more like this guy? Why can't you be more? Why? Why would you want me to be like somebody else? That's boring. That's what makes the person you like so much special, because they are unique, So I'll try to just stand on my own and do my own thing. And I think I've done a good job of just staying true to me. That's it. That's really my only goal, staying true to me and who I am. And, people will join along the way if they like it. So appreciate the question and the support. Alien.gov. Yes, I hear you. There's some new websites that got registered, I guess is the right word to use. Alien.gov and aliens, plural, .gov. And people were like, wow, does that have to do with extraterrestrials? It does. Okay, so that's kind of interesting, I admit. Because someone from the State Department responded to some comment about it and put like, stay tuned with an alien emoji. So clearly it's got to do with extraterrestrials. Now, what are the websites going to be used for? I have no idea. Generally, I have no idea what they'll be used for. But either way, step in the right direction. And I think maybe it's for maybe the declassification of some of these files, potentially. That's kind of where I'm thinking. All right, let's get to some other questions here. I want to make sure oh gosh, okay. Go back a little bit, y'all. Y'all might have to put in the questions again if I missed. I can't go back through all the comments, y'all. So I'm just going to start here where we're at. What's your style? Can you articulate it? My style is It's a good question. I think my style is just me, where I bring up clips that I think are going, or stories or ideas that are kind of people are talking about that people want to know about. And I just kind of give my opinion on them and bring some context in, maybe point out some red flags, right? We do a little vetting, point out some red flags, point out things that maybe green flags as well, right? Just kind of a mix. And I guess I'm shaping the style as I grow, right? I think I've really found my pocket as of late for a while now. But I think it's probably other people would determine my style for me. But that's typically how I would describe it, right? I'm just covering things that people are talking about. If I come across something or see something that no one else is talking about, I'll bring that up to kind of mini investigations, right? It's kind of that. And then some people would describe it as, I take longer form podcasts and maybe 3-4 hours and I condense them down, right? Give you some best clips and kind of talk about it. Again, I try to add context to it as well. Okay. Why did you leave America to go to Spain? My wife is from here and we were always going to move back. And I lived here for years beforehand. In the 2010s, the early 2010s. So we just came back. That's essentially it. And I love Spain. Fits my lifestyle. It really does, because life is valued here more than work. And I like that. I'm American, I'm Texan. And this grind culture, which I was a part of for many, many years, and it burned me. It burned me out. It's a hard culture it's a hard lifestyle. And here, life is valued more than work. You don't ever hear people talking when you go out like, I'm grinding all day. I worked 80 hours. They would think you're crazy if you told them that. Like, why would you do that? It's so different from America. It's like in America, the more hours you work, the more respect you get. And here it's the opposite. They think you're crazy because it's all about balance. Now, they know people work hard here. Don't get me wrong. People are very hard working here. But you have to have a balance. I think that's important. So I like that life is valued more than work here. People don't, live to work. They work to live. Who's your favorite comedian? Conan O'Brien. That's easy. Conan O'Brien, baby. He is legit. But I also like Dana Carvey, David Spade. I like Theo Vaughn. I like Bill Burr. I like Bad Friends a lot. I listen to that podcast all the time. So I like Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino. I like their show a lot. There's a lot of people I like Richard Pryor, George Carlin, going back. I like Jerry Seinfeld. I like Louis C.K. I love Cat Williams. Oh my God, I love Cat Williams, dude. Yeah, there's a lot. I love comedy, but Conan O'Brien is my jam. I think he's the funniest person. I love Martin Short, Steve Martin, that duo together, hilarious. Was it Canada who had an alien on a service badge? Don't know, Jimmy. That's an interesting one. Do you think aliens are demonic? We'd have to define demon. Right? Demonic. What is that? I don't know what that really means. I don't think anyone knows what they are. So what do I think? I don't know. It's hard to say what I think because I don't know what evidence is true or not. So it's hard to really have an informed opinion about what they are. It's nice to theorize just all the different possibilities, but to lean into one over another, for me personally, is very hard to do. So I sort of am open to all of the different possibilities, even the extraterrestrial possibility. They just come from another planet because now they're very popular interdimensional, or they're demonic, or all these other things. And I grew up with them like they're coming here from another planet. They've learned how to travel through space quickly, and so I don't know. I still have hope that they could just be literally coming from another planet. Because again, we're not alone in the universe. So I hope we find them first. So we'll see. Bigelow wrote the speech and we know what he believes. Any comments, Patrick? I don't know what that means. I don't know what Bigelow wrote the speech and we know what he believes. I have not seen Bigelow come out and confirm anything about Mark Christopher Lee's story. If that's what you're confirming, if that's what you're asking, I've seen no confirmation of that. Zero. So if you were to do Vetted all over again, what would you do? Would you do anything differently? No. I like where I'm at. Hit the goal. You know what? It's hard. I don't like looking back and regret a lot of times because I'm happy where I'm at. So it's all part of the journey. I don't know what I would change. Maybe it wouldn't bring me here, you know. Maybe that just comes with age, where you realize even the hardships you went through made you who you are. And I think hardships are important in life. They may not feel that important in the moment when you're dealing with them, but I think that's important to, you know, to go through some things and strengthen yourself and become better. But yeah, I'm happy with where Vetted's at and where it's going. And I don't try to compare myself to anybody else. And I feel like we're doing great. And you know, growing the show and doing my thing. And I'm happy with what I do. I wake up happy to work. That's a good place to be in. I'm sure a lot of y'all know that work can be really difficult sometimes. I've definitely had jobs where I just despised going to work and hated getting up and going and grinding, you know, especially when I had my own business in Austin for, you know, gosh, how long did I do that? Almost 6 years, you know, 6 years I did that, like running my own food truck and catering business. And I had multiple locations and that was so stressful. I was proud of what I did, but man, there were days I just woke up. I just did not want to do it. Like it sucked. So I'm happy with where I'm at. So I just wouldn't change anything. I'm happy. And I'm happy with all the great people I get to meet. To be honest with you, I get to meet so many great people in this community and talk about something that very much interests me, you know, the universe, life, other life in the universe. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. My question, do you still like to cook? My man is a chef and feel bad always making him cook for me. There was a point where I hated cooking. So that's a great question, actually, because it's been years now, but it took me a couple of years after stopping to cook every day for so long to re-enjoy cooking. And that's part of the reason why I closed the business down and as well, is because first of all, the pandemic hit. And yeah, I just hated cooking. I despised cooking, and I love cooking. You know, I do. I cook every day. You know, my household, I do all the cooking, and I love it. I get it. You know, maybe every once in a while, Nicole, you can tell your hubby, you know what, I got it tonight. But it depends. I don't know if he's a chef, that means he's running a kitchen, because that's what a chef means. You're running a kitchen. So that's a lot of work and a lot of stress. It depends what kind of hierarchy he has. Is he a hands-on chef? Is he more coordinating and he only works the pass and kind of maybe using some inside terms here, but you know, depends what level of actual knife work, and you know, is he over a flame all day type of cooking a chef is. There's different types, so just depends, you know. But if he doesn't mind, then he doesn't mind. You know, it's just all up to him. I think you get an idea if he minds or not to do it. I love cooking now, but yes, there was a time where I absolutely hated it. Do you think we'll see the pictures and videos that have convinced members of Congress that the UFO phenomenon is real? I think we'll see some of them, actually. I think we will see some of them. Okay, I got to go quick on some of these, y'all. I want to try to get to as many as I can. Can you elaborate on your thoughts on the original moon landings and your thoughts on next month's moon landing? Look, I'm one of those weird people in this conspiracy world. I believe we landed on the moon. First of all, I'm an Armstrong. So I believe we landed on the moon, and I'm excited for... I don't think... Is the moon landing coming next month? I need to look that up. I thought we were just going around the moon, not actually landing on it. I could be wrong. But yes, I believe we landed on the moon. That doesn't mean I believe everything that comes out of NASA. And maybe there's some parts of the moon missions that are whatever, not explainable or questionable. That for sure. But I think we went to the moon. Favorite UFO alien movie and TV show. TV show, X-Files. Just I grew up with it. Like it's quintessential, I think, for a lot of us, but me personally. And my favorite UFO movie. There's a lot of them, and I'm just spitballing here, and I'm it's hard for me to categorize them. But I love Fire in the Sky. I love Signs. I love Arrival. I mean, there's a lot of them that I like, but I think Fire in the Sky and Signs just hold a special place in my heart. Are you in Extremadura? Yes, that's a state here in Spain. I am in Extremadura. How can someone help you if they want to help by volunteering their time? How can someone reach out to you? Don't need it. Appreciate it, Jimmy. I got a lot of people want to help. I'm good. I appreciate it. The best thing to do to help vet it is just watch the videos, like them, share them if you want. That sort of thing. That's the best way to help. Just do what you do. Watching the videos is the biggest help anyone could ever give me. Just watching the videos. That's it. That's all you gotta do. That definitely helps. Okay, I feel like let me catch up here. What breed is your dog? He is mixed little doggy. He's a rescue. I lost a dog. I'm sure some of y'all know, I lost a dog, Rocket, my buddy Rocket. Oh man, I don't want to tear up here, y'all. Lost him recently, and my other dog. They're both rescues. But my other dog, Mac, who's still with us, he's a rescue from Dallas, Texas. Got him from a shelter as just a tiny little ball of fur, literally fit in my hand like this. Like a tiny, now he's, big old boy. Love that guy. Took him to the vet today, actually. He had surgery recently. He had to have some things done. He's getting old. He's 13. But yeah, he's a mix. I'm all about rescues, y'all. Appreciate all the kind comments, y'all. I can see them all here. I mean that. Tell us a story about your dog that recently passed. Oof, that's good, Lord. All right, I said ask me anything, didn't I? That's a funny story. I'll tell you a funny story is when we first, Rocket's from Spain. So initially when we got Rocket, friends of I lived in Spain actually at the time, right? So my wife and I lived in Granada, which is in the south, and some friends had found him and some of his brothers and sisters. They were puppies. They'd been abandoned by this old castle in Granada called La Alhambra. It's a very famous Moor castle. It's like 1,500 years old. Anyway, the base of it, there's like this little river, little stream. I wouldn't call it a river, but like this little stream, kind of like a moat style. But it's not really because it's below. Anyway, they found him and they just asked, "Hey, can you watch this little guy for a few days while we find him a home?" And originally his name was Gofio. That was his name, which is a type of flower in the Canary Islands. So they call them Gofio. And within 5 minutes of having him, my wife and I were like, we're keeping him. The connection was instant with him. And 14 years, he lived long, 14 years with us. So that's my story about Rocket. I miss that little bugger, man. I really do, all the time. I look down and because he was always there. Aish, I don't want to get emotional here. I do miss him. What is your favorite food? Well, my mom's from Mexico, so my favorite food is tacos. Specifically, tacos al pastor, which is a type of taco where they put it on a spit. They layer it with pork, and then they have this pineapple up top that sort of gets cooked while you're cooking the pork, and it's slow cooked, and then they shave it off into a little corn tortilla. And in Mexico, you get little bitty corn tortillas, and they double the tortilla, fresh made, handmade masa, and they cut it off off the spit, and then they slice the pineapple. It flies through the air. They catch it, they hit it with a little cilantro and onion, which you don't have to get that. And then you put on some hot sauce. Man, I can eat like 10 of those things. The flavor is unbelievable, but you got to get it in Mexico. I've tried to have it in the States, and I grew up in Texas, which is a lot of us Mexicans living in Texas, you just can't get it the same ever. Just cooked so differently. But when you're in Mexico, you get tacos al pastor. To me, there's nothing like it. That's my jam. So I miss tacos. Can't get tacos here in Spain. Not good ones anyway. They have a Taco Bell. I'm not eating that. What happened to your tooth back in the day? I lost my tooth jumping into a pool, and I kneed myself in the face. I wish it was a cooler story, but it's not. Yeah, I kneed myself in the face and knocked out a tooth. Jumping into a pool, playing with my nephews, being a goofball, which I am. Do you think Dr. Stephen Greer is behind any of the info coming out like Matt Brown weaponized? That's a good question. I don't personally think so. But one thing I've learned in this community, you never know. Now, Stephen Greer would probably tell you he's connected. I think he says he's connected to everything. I don't know if I've ever heard Stephen Greer say, I don't know. Anytime he's asked a question, I've never heard him say, I don't know. Never heard him say that. I don't trust anyone that doesn't say, I don't know. You know what I mean? What do you mean you don't know? You gotta admit it. Probe Space gifted 5 vetted memberships. Wow, Probe Space, very, very nice. Really appreciate you. If I get this wrong, I apologize. But Probed is like a new app. I think it's an app or a website that sort of coagulates all the UAP creators and information and stories and stuff. It's really cool, really slick user interface, and they've been very supportive on Twitter. And so you can Google them and see what they're about. I've seen them on Twitter posting stuff, and they've been very cool. And it's a great name, great logo, again, great design. Probed, love it. I honestly do love the name. Ever seen or experienced any phenomena yourself? Yes, I have. I have. I've had little stories my whole life. Sound something, you kind of dart your eyes and go, "Well, what was that? Was there something there?" Kind of more ghostly things, right? Where just kind of odd things happening. I never saw an apparition or a ghost or anything, but just kind of felt paranormal, I guess. Nothing crazy, to be honest with you. Nothing very exciting. But when I filmed the documentary that's coming out this summer, Psionics, those are the most real experiences I've ever had, which are discussed in the documentary, and they were things I can't explain. Favorite cheese? Oh man, that's tough. I love cheese. Maybe just some standard manchego. I like aged cheese. I like smellier the better. I'm into that real harsh cheese, but I also like very creamy, light cheeses as well. So, I can get down on a cheese board. I don't need to know anything about it. But I really love goat cheese. I'm a big fan of goat cheese, different styles, and I do love me some cheese, but I got to be careful because I can eat too much of it. So that's tough. That's actually a tough question. But I do love manchego. That's just great and easy to go with, and you get all different styles of it. I said I'd answer any question here. Okay, how do you feel about Ghislaine Maxwell asking for clemency pardon from president? I ask because if people can't handle that, how are they supposed to handle the pardoning of all the gatekeepers? All right, I mean, that's a fair question. Yeah, she should not be pardoned. I'm not really I don't know. I mean, people deserve second chances. but not for that. Not for being a human, you know, sex trafficker and all the nasty stuff they did on Epstein Island and all that, you know, with all that. I mean, sorry, there's some things that just cannot be pardoned, in my opinion. Got to pay the piper. You know, you get a traffic ticket, you push somebody, you know what I mean? Maybe get in a little bar fight or some BS. You run a red light, you know. Okay, these are forgivable things. Messing with kids, trafficking humans, that's sorry. So yeah, I don't know if people this whole aspect of we need to forgive all the people from the UFO legacy program. Well, it depends what they did. Right? It depends what they did to cover that up. I don't know. That's honestly, it's a tough question. It's a tough question. Has the famous Patterson Gimlin Bigfoot UFO has been debunked? Which UFO cases do you think will also be debunked sooner or later? That one's been debunked. I don't know. I haven't heard that. I always thought for a long time that they had a video of the guy who filmed it walking, and then they compared that to the Bigfoot video walking, and it was identical. Basically, he just filmed himself in the Bigfoot suit. I don't know if that's the debunk now. I don't know, but what UFO case do you think will also be debunked sooner or later? I don't know. That's tough to tell. It's a lot of these UFO cases stay in the ambiguous zone forever because there's no information one way or another to put it. And that's kind of how ufology survives in the dark, right? That's how they survive. They can't be debunked or proven because there's just not enough information. Usually it's just a witness testimony, right? So you're kind of left with nothing. There are very few cases that have a lot of points of interest, you know, like a Nimitz case, for instance, that has so many different points and aspects to it. But most cases, it's hard to debunk them. You're just left with the probability, and then that's just to each their own. Do you think we will see pictures and videos of UFOs that members have seen in a skiff? I think you asked that. Oh, you asked it again. Okay. Yeah, I do. I think we'll see some of them. I think so. Have you seen a UFO before? I have not. I've seen lights I couldn't explain. But that's it. You know, UFO. I guess that is a UFO. It's an unidentified flying object. You know, I guess in that sense, I have seen a UFO. If it's just a light moving around, I didn't know what it was. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess I have seen a UFO then. But it's not like I saw an object, some three-dimensional object, you know, that had mass that was moving around. That I haven't seen. Why doesn't the so-called aliens just appear and land to say hello? Why is everything under cloak and dagger and secret? Well, I agree. Some might argue they have landed and said hello. Right? So, but yes, I agree. Okay, Danny, I see you put that question line 10 times. Hilarious. Let's get Mads here. Congrats on 100K, Patrick. Patreon every channel since you had about 3K subscribers. Wow, still great content. Appreciate your tireless work. Upwards and onwards, Mads K. Thank you so much. That is so cool. Thank you for being a supporter for so long. I see a lot of people commenting in YouTube and different things like, hey, I've been here since 1,000K, 3K, you know, this, that. It's so awesome, right? That means a lot to me. Whether you're a new subscriber or returning subscriber, it's nice to see people have stuck around for so long as well. Maybe I'm doing something right. But that kind of support means a lot to me. And, you know, that keeps me going. That's the fuel I need. So thank you so much, Mads. Really appreciate that. I mean that. Onion and pineapple. Really, bro? Que tranquilo, tío, ¿eh? No te metes conmigo. No te metes conmigo. That's right. Onion and pineapple, bro. Don't even get started. You don't even know what taco al pastor is, okay? That's some good shit. Yes, onion and pineapple. That's not that crazy. You ever cooked before? Get real. Don't judge me. You'd be surprised what things go together. And you probably had onion and pineapple together and didn't know it. So don't bring that to me. Do you tan? No, I don't tan. Do I get tan by being outside? I guess, yes, because I like to get that vitamin D. Okay, I'm outside a lot, especially the weather's nice here in Spain again, so I'm out every day for hours. Love taking my dog for walks. My wife and I'll just go sit on a patio and get some tapas, have a glass of wine, have a coffee. You can go out so much here because it's so cheap. It's so inexpensive to go sit out and eat something or just get a coffee, or just get a glass of wine. It's not like the States where it's really expensive or just not cost effective. But here, you're just out all the time. So yeah, we'll just sit on a patio just to get some sun, just to hang out. Get you some tacos from Fuel City in Dallas, Texas. I've been to Fuel City many times, my man. And yes, that is one of my favorite places in Dallas to go to. It's at a convenience store and a gas station in Dallas. They take cash only, and they make great tacos. I agree. They actually have a big Bigfoot statue out front. If you know that. Okay. Oh, the more you research this topic, do you feel like you grow more cynical towards not just the topic, but about the world we live in? No, I wouldn't say cynical, just real. Just real. All right. The more gaps that get filled, you have a better idea of what the picture is. So you start to see a bigger piece of the puzzle. And it's just, I feel I can look at things more realistic. I don't need to live in a fantasy. I just want to know the truth, whatever that is. I have a great imagination, so I can imagine other things and I can enjoy it that way as well. But I don't want to force a belief, just because I want something to be real. I'm not just going to live like that. So I think it's not cynicism for me. It's just realism. That's all it is. I put the joy in my life into things around me, my friends, my family, just sitting out on a bench on a nice day and taking in the sun and, going hiking, touring like old cities and seeing, that kind of thing. Like I'm good with that. I'm good. Great conversations, right? Hanging out with people, breaking bread, great meals, great food, great wine, but more than anything, great conversations and people and, that sort of thing. That's it for me. So the rest is just, good. Are you moving back to the US eventually? I don't know. Never know. For right now, we're in Spain and plan on being here for a while. I love Spain. It's just I love Europe. I lived in Texas for a long time, and I lived in Pennsylvania for a long time. I lived in Mexico for a while as well. I kind of grew up, my mom's from Mexico, so I traveled a lot to Mexico as a kid in America. So, I like traveling. I do love the States, and I miss like my family and some friends there. So, but you never say never. You never know what's going to happen. But for right now, that's not on the agenda. How Spain, did you go through a summer yet? I've been through many summers here. That's awesome. Hey Patrick, congrats on the plaque. But what I want to know is, what's your opinion on Colonel Jesse Marcel's interview with Stanton Friedman back in 1979? Was he full of shit, confused, or telling it? That's a tough one. He seems very sincere. Seems sincere, right? But I've also learned that people misinterpret things. They can be very sincere in telling the truth, but they just misinterpreted things. I've been with people who look up at the sky and literally point out a plane, but they're convinced it's not a plane. So, so if they tell the story, like I saw a UFO, it was a craft, but it was just a plane, right? So people can misinterpret things, myself included. So, even if someone's genuine, it doesn't make their story true. But I find that guy to be credible, in the sense that he seems genuine and authentic to me. And man, do I miss Stanton Friedman, man. He was a cool guy. What will happen if they will claim that a certain race or ethnicity is actually an alien hybrid? That's not good. That will just create a race war there. And, you know, it's such a funny thing because we're all mixed, y'all. You think someone's purebred? Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Do a DNA test. You'll find out. No one is pure anything. So we're all hybrids, you know. Could it would be impossible for a race or ethnicity to be hybrid. Does that make sense? That's literally impossible. It doesn't make sense because we're all a mix and we're all stardust. Like, it's just impossible thing. So it's always funny that we separate by race and ethnicity when really it's culture is what separates us the most. It's culture. But we're all a mix. Jim Girl. Thank you, Jim Girl. Congratulations, Patrick. Been here a long time, and I'm proud to be a part of the Vatican community. One question, donuts and shots. Good callback. Good callback, Jim Girl. Yes. When did I do that? I can't remember when I did that, but I did take some shots of whiskey and ate some donuts. That might have been when I hit like 10,000 subscribers or something like that, or I don't remember. But that's funny. Good memory. Thank you so much for the support. I mean that. I've always seen your comments. I really, really appreciate all the support and great humor. And yeah, I guess, you know what? I should have done donuts and shots for this. I totally forgot about that. That is hilarious. Good callback. I cannot wait for this documentary, Patrick. It's coming this summer, man. Just had a meeting about it this week, and it is coming. Very excited. It's finished, and I'm very excited to get it out. I'm very nervous how people are going to take it in, how they're going to respond. You know, I didn't edit this thing. I didn't direct it. I filmed it. I'm in it. Clearly, it's following my journey. And I've seen it. It's hard for me to be objective. You know, is it good or not? I don't know. It's different. It's not a talking head documentary. The people that have seen it said they loved it. What does that mean? I don't know. You know, I think I can't wait for everyone to see it and tell me their opinion on it, to be honest with you, and what they think about it. Why don't you report on the Las Vegas UFO and the being caught in the video? I have personally seen the green sphere previously. I know this crap is real, but you don't touch it. Why? Huh? What? Why don't you report on the Las Vegas UFO and the being caught in the video? I guess I don't know what you're referring to. If you're referring to the backyard video of the family, the Hispanic family, if you're referring to that, I covered that extensively. I did interviews. I covered that absolutely extensively. So unless you're talking about a new one, then I just never heard about it. But if you're talking about that one, I covered that absolutely extensively. Multiple videos, multiple interviews about it. Like, yeah, so I don't know. I've personally seen the green sphere. I guess you're saying sphere. I don't know what you're talking about. So that's probably why I haven't talked about it. You know, there's always this big conspiracy of people like, this guy's not covering it, man. They don't want to cover the truth. They don't touch it because of the truth. That's nothing to do with that. Sometimes people just don't hear about it. You know how many stories are out there? You know how many messages I get? You know how many emails? Hey, cover this, cover that. Look at this, look at that. You know what I mean? There's just so much. I can't. I'm only one man. Can't cover it all. But I've never heard of this green sphere. Sorry, I apologize. I just don't know what you're talking about. That is sincerely. What do you consider the most credible evidence we have so far about UFOs? Boy, that stumped me. That's a good question. I'd have to think about that. I don't know. Sadly, I think it's just the quantity of stories going back for so long But I don't think that's a good, if that's our best evidence, that's not good. We need better evidence. But at least it's a starting point, and like there's smoke, something's going on, right? But I think that's our most credible evidence. It's just all of, right, all of the stories. But great question. I'd put that to everyone in the comments. What do y'all think? Let me know. That's a great question. You got me stumped on that one. All right, hang on. I gotta get to Cased. Gifted one vetted membership. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Someone will get a free vetted YouTube membership. So that's very cool of you. Thank you for doing that. Okay, we got PC Aviator. Thank you for not trying to bend narratives on these subjects for views. So hard to find tubers that just call it like they see it. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. And yeah, I hope I'm not bending narratives. That's, I guess that's hard to judge. That's for y'all to judge. So if you don't feel I'm doing that, awesome. That's great. Yeah, I say this all the time. You may not like what I say, but or agree with me all the time, which I totally understand. But at least know I'm speaking my real mind. I'm giving you my real opinion, whether it's harsh or not. It's how I truly feel. You can always rest assured that I will just tell you my authentic opinion, whether it hurts someone's feelings or not. We're all big boys and girls. We wear our big boy and girl pants, and we got to deal with it. Doesn't mean I'm right. Um, you know, honestly, I'm probably wrong more than I'm right, but at least know that I'm giving my true opinion on things, and I try to just do my best on that and bring the most up-to-date information for people to make their own informed opinion, right? That's what I encourage people to do. Make up your own mind. Don't let me make up your mind for you or other people. I see a lot of people in this community that tell you what the truth is, and this is what you got to think, and this is how it is. And I think that's bullshit. Nobody knows what's going on. They don't. Sorry. You may think, I think this is going on. That's fair. But to say, I know what's going on, you don't know shit. I don't know shit. You don't know shit. Nobody knows shit. We have theories. We speculate, and that's where the fun is, and we can go on this journey together. But anyone trying to, engage in this absolutism of what exactly is going on is disingenuous to me. Crazy thought from somebody that doesn't know anything. Nancy Guthrie, a major UFO guy, disappears. Sounds like a Spielberg ending to Disclosure. Imagine. Oh, definitely interesting. The Nancy Guthrie thing. I mean, her mom, I guess, is that Nancy Guthrie? Yeah, isn't that the reporter's mom? Yeah, definitely interesting for sure. I totally get it. Absolutely. The Neil McCaslin thing is, that story just keeps getting weirder, right? That story keeps getting weirder. I will admit that is a very weird story, and it keeps getting weirder. So I don't know what's going on there. I really don't. I have no idea. I covered it right when it came out, and it's just grown, and everyone's talking about it and looking for this guy, and they still haven't found him. And the story is so strange, very strange, very, very strange. I just heard recently that he was like in a meeting with Tom DeLonge back in January, like just as of recently, talking about UFOs and maybe getting involved. So I don't know. I'm just saying it's weird. Even for me, I think there's some weird things going on there. So tres leches or tiramisu? What do you want better? Tarta de queso. Tarta de queso. Cheesecake. Just saying cheesecake. I love cheesecake, y'all. I love cheesecake. Is Jeremy Corbell too trusting? I don't know. That's an interesting philosophical question. Only Jeremy Corbell would know that. We all handle this differently. So teach their own. I don't know. Maybe we need people to be trusting. I don't know. Right? It's all how you look at the whole thing. There's different levels to look at it. 20,000 foot view to 10,000 to macroscopic, right? And then you got to compare all those together and how it all fits together. And there's the individual journey, there's the community journey, there's the society journey. There's a lot to kind of do an equation on. So is he too trusting? I don't know. I think everyone's got to decide for themselves. What, yeah, that's an interesting one. Are you religious? I'm not. I'm not religious. I used to be. I got baptized at 18. I was technically a Baptist, a Southern Baptist, for like 3 years. Like I went to church every Sunday. I led fellowship, like sang guitar, and I was a Sunday school teacher for like 5-year-olds for like 3 years. I was really into it. And then I left because I just thought there was some BS in my church, and I was like, this is all bullshit. That's essentially it. But I still have a lot of those friends from that time to this day, like really good friends from that time. So I'm happy I did it. But I was raised Catholic. My mom is from Mexico, so she was Catholic, and we kind of raised Catholic, not like Catholic, but like, we went to mass every once in a while, and Ash Wednesday, all that sort of stuff. If you've ever had a Latin mom, if any of y'all have a Latin mom or anything like, what that's like, right? So my mom still gives me my blessing, mecha, agua, like they put like blessed water. My mom will just spray blessed water on me. I grew up like that. Like my grandma just hit me with water, blessed water in the face. Like, if you left the house, like just all kinds of crosses everywhere, Jesus, La Virgen, all of that. I respect it more than I did because I was a strong anti-atheist, like Christopher Hitchens style for a long time. And now I'm balanced. I'm settled in. I respect people's opinions more. I respect people's lives. You want to do that? Go for it. I'm not here to bring you down or judge you. That's really what I've fallen into, just to each their own. I respect people's beliefs and what they do with their lives. Patrick, if you come to Madrid, there's a nice Mexican restaurant in Sierra de Madrid in Los Molinos called... Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, check it out. I ate at a Mexican restaurant in Madrid actually one time, and it was disgusting. I was like, bro, you cannot call this Mexican food. You know what I mean? You cannot call this Mexican food. It was gross. But I'll check that out. I'm sure things have changed. I've seen a lot of other types of food here that when I lived in Spain before, they didn't have. So absolutely. And if you're going to find a good one, it probably would be in Madrid or Barcelona. So appreciate that. I will check that out. Man, some of y'all are writing the same question 1,000 times. Like, I'd say take it easy. On average, how long does it take you to edit a video? It takes me about 6 to 10 hours to make a video. I spend probably half of that editing it. That's roughly it, 6 to 10 hours. I would say more in the 8-hour is at an average, 8 hours to make a video. I got to research. I got to collect all the assets. So all the clips and different images I need and things like that. I got to think, I'll be watching a clip. Oh, he mentioned this. Let me go find that so I can bring it in, right? And all these things, you got to do all that. And then I make sure to keep all the links for source links. So I keep a little file so I can keep all the links and make sure I go back. And then I have to remember where I got it from so I can credit them. If you notice, I credit people. So I got to keep track of all that. And then I got to bring it into my editing software. I lay it all out in a way that I want to tell the story. Lay all the assets out, and I've got to do all the layers to make sure I get it all right. Maybe if it needs a background, what definition is it? I'm looking for the highest resolution. There's a lot of logistics here. It's not just play a clip. There's a lot to it. And then I have to build the intro, which is me making a little mini trailer of the episode. So as I'm doing that, I'm kind of picking little bits and pieces that I think would be the most engaging to get people hooked into the video, right? And so I build that intro as well, which could take me 30 minutes, an hour just for the intro. And then after I have it all laid out how I want to tell the story, I set up, camera, lights, got my laptop, got everything there. And then I record. And recording can take me anywhere from, 30 minutes to an hour just to record. And then I bring that file into my editing software. And now I mix the two. Now I take what I recorded on camera of me, mixed with all the assets and clips that I put together, and I start editing all of that together. And there's a few passes I go through, but I go in chronological order. Then I go back and layer all the different sound effects, music. I do the phone call at the end, that kind of thing, right? And yeah, it can take me 8 to 10 hours. I've spent 12, 14 hours on a video before. So it takes a long time. And the longer the video and the more assets, the longer it takes me to get that together. Great question. And clearly I enjoyed answering that because I just went off on a rant there. Congrats on the button. Why you sound Cuban or Puerto Rican? Boricua. What do you mean? Why do I sound Cuban? I don't know. I have a weird mixed accent because I grew up speaking Spanish in Mexico, and then you come to Spain and they speak Castellano. So I just have this, mix. My Spanish accent is mixed. Onion pineapple pork is good. Thank you. It's good. It's great. I had spaghetti on a pizza in Australia. Yum. Yeah, I've seen everything on a pizza. Literally everything. They put fish on pizza here. They got tuna. I've seen bacalao. I've seen all kinds of stuff on a pizza. Those are some of the best pizzas, actually. But I will admit, a nice New York slice of pepperoni, nothing beats it. It's pretty good. How tall are you and what is your weight? What's going on here? Mr. TSA over here wanting to know some details. I'm 6 foot. I'm like 6 something, maybe a couple centimeters. My weight, never ask someone their weight, man. I don't know. I don't want to say that. I don't know. No, I'm normal. I'm normal. Normal height, normal weight. I'm about as normal as it gets. What do you think of that UFO podcast? I'm a longtime patron from the UK, but he makes great content. Yeah, I love Andy. Love that UFO podcast. He's an OG, right? He's been around a long time. I'm a new bird. He's been around a long time. Great show, great interviewer. Used lots of his clips for sure and shows and stuff. Yeah, he's a great guy. I've never met him. Would love to meet him, to be honest with you. I do respect him a lot and his show, 100%. That's cool you support him. Where are you originally from? Have you spent a lot of time in the U.S.? Oh, here's Mr. Weight and Height again. I'm originally from the U.S. Yes, I'm from America. Yes, I've spent a lot of time in the U.S. I was born in Nebraska, grew up in Texas. There you go. Come to Portugal so we can have coffee together. That's not going to happen. No offense, but I can't just meet random people from online. That's this. In my position, you would understand. You just can't do that. So you never know. There's some crazy people out here. I'm not saying you're crazy. You're probably not at all. You're probably the most sane person and great person. And if I met you just randomly and it happened, that'd be different. But you got to be careful doing what I do because there's a lot of weirdos out there. There are. There's a lot of people asking really weird questions that you just saw. Did I miss the play button? You did. Here, right here. For those of it that didn't get to see it, right here, vetted. Boom. Can you see it? Bam. And there's my setup. There's the wall, right? You guys can see that I record. Oh, it's hard to see. It's my little light. Yeah, look at that. It's on a little table. It's a table on a table. You can't see it. But I got drink there, water. Okay, my coffee. Where is it? Oh, that's my AirPods. We got coffee, water. Oh, why is this backwards? Coffee, water. Yeah, I drink so much coffee and water. That's literally what I drink all day long. Sparkling water. I drink a lot of coffee. How do I donate? You don't need to. I appreciate it if you do, but you definitely don't need to. So don't worry about it. If you can't figure it out, I feel weird asking people to do that kind of stuff, to be honest with you. I really do. And look, this person did it. If you can figure it out, cool. But I do feel weird about it a little bit. Do you ever think these whistleblowers like Corbell, Elizondo, etc., might be doing more harm to the UFO community than good? I'm almost there. I don't know what you mean by you're almost there. Meaning like you think that? Again, it's hard to quantify harm. Right? There's a lot of words here you've got to define and then quantify. And some of these are impossible to quantify. Right? So that's a hard question to ask. It's a personal question. So when you say, I'm almost there, it's a personal thing for you. It's hard to then put that onto other people, or should they think that, or is what you're thinking true? It's not necessarily true or false. It's just that's how you feel about it. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm personally not a fan of Elizondo. Made that pretty clear. Not a fan of that guy. So yeah, in my opinion, he brings way more harm to the community. That's my opinion. Not a fan of that guy at all. At all. Make a poll on what the release leans towards. Collins Elite, Old Gods, Nazi Tech, they have no clue, and your viewers can weigh in. I can't do a poll right now with what I got going. I've already gone over how long I was going to stay in this. I'll go a little bit longer because I feel like there's more questions. But there you go. People can just take your comment here and make a poll from that. Not necessarily a poll, but just write down what they think. You may never know the source of all this stuff, right? But yeah, that's an interesting question for sure. It could be a mix of all of that, right? Could be a mix. All right, I gotta. Holy cow. I think I'm missing a lot here. Okay, let's. Wow. Wow. Yippee yo, yippee yay. Let's get down to the bottom here because I was so far up on the comments. Do you think much of the UFO vids we see is military technology? I guess it depends what you mean by UFO vids, because I see UFO videos all the time that come out on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. And that I would say most of the UFO vids you see online are AI. Honestly, that's what's taken over is all the UFO AI. And you got all these weird accounts that just share them with no context, no question of is this real or not. That's some of them know. A lot of them know it's AI, and they still put it off as real. One thing is to not know. Another thing is to know and then say it's real when you know it's AI. And there's UFO researchers who do that. It's kind of just, why do that? It's just disgusting, if you ask me. But it's hard to tell. Now, if you mean like the videos that get released by like Jeremy Corbell and people like that, I do actually. I think a lot of that is just military technology or just prosaic stuff. Balloons, birds. I know I sound like Mick West and y'all probably hate me, and that's fine. I'm just telling you how I feel. I haven't seen anything extraordinary. It's just, remember, they did this with the Hellfire. They just say, look at this crazy video of a UFO. But what made it a UFO? Why was it designated? There's no evidence or proof ever provided that that is an actual UFO, that it's unidentified. You just somebody's word, right? You never get the origin. You get so little context. You know, it's hard to make a determination, and people just assume things and make determinations for you. So, in my opinion, UFO videos are kind of useless now because of AI and because we never get the sources of where these videos come from, and they're just kind of useless. They're just kind of useless. They never perform and do anything extraordinary, you know, in my opinion. It's all opinion. I'm sure y'all have your own. I think at this point, aliens. We're going to need to see actual alien bodies. Aliens. I just don't know. And even that, even a video may not work. And, you know, I guess AI is to blame in that sense. I mean, I don't know. That's why we're just going to need the aliens to come reveal themselves. They're going to have to do it for us because we can't trust it. We can't trust each other. We can't trust ourselves to do it, you know. Or you just have a personal experience, right? How many people you talk to, they're like, oh, I know what's real. Okay, well, there you go. You know, if you've had a personal experience, like I get it. I totally get it. That makes sense. If you've had a personal experience and you're convinced the phenomena is real, that makes the most sense to me, to be honest with you. That makes the most sense. And I would love for that to happen to me, to be honest with you. I'd love to have some extraordinary experience that convinced me. I would love that. That would be cool. Is that sunlight in your ceiling or UFO light? Yeah, it's a UFO, y'all. UFO coming in. No, that's just recessed lighting, they call it. Okay, I'm fancy. It's recessed lighting. If the person blowing the whistle cannot actually point to the thing they're blowing the whistle on, is by default not doing great. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree with that. But, you know, I also think it's important to just take it all in. But again, teach their own. Yeah, you just got to do what you want. Listen to who you want. Take in what you want. Believe what you want. Your standard of evidence is what you want. It's your time. It's your energy. It's your resources. Do whatever you want. I do what I want. It's that simple. I do what I want. So I respect other people that just do what they want. I don't tell anybody how to think or what to believe or whatnot. I share how I feel and what I believe on my channel. Right? I have a platform and I use it for my beliefs. That's it. That's all it's for. That's it. Thoughts on Michael Schellenberger and his UAP testimony? Personally, odd he was there. Odd he was there, I think is just what you mean. I don't know. Well, we're getting different stories of, you know, Jeremy Corbell is not a fan of Schellenberger. And some people are, you know, so I don't know. He's a journalist. I don't know. I never met the guy. It's hard for me to have an opinion on him, to be honest with you. Never met him. Some people think he's trustworthy. Other people say he's not trustworthy, you know? So I don't know. I have never had a personal experience with him, so I can't really say one way or the other. Journalists do testify at hearings, congressional hearings. That has happened for a long time. In fact, a lot of journalists have. So that's not odd that he would testify because a lot of journalists do. That's just not about all kinds of things. And Michael Schellenberg has testified before about other things that have nothing to do with UFOs. So I don't know. It's more the validity of his testimony, but so I don't know. It's just interesting. I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. The only thing I think it was weird is I found it weird. He was dying on some weird hills on Joe Rogan with Epstein. You know, I'm not saying he was wrong on some of the points he was making. It's just they were weird hills to die on when you're trying to give the benefit of the doubt to a pedophile like Epstein. Like, I don't think that guy deserves the benefit of the doubt. So they're just weird hills to die on, if in my opinion. You got to pick and choose your battles, and I just think that was weird. Just found that to be odd. Why do that? Crooked Peach says, "Do you think AI is part of the big alien picture?" It's a good question. Yes, but maybe not for the reason you think. It could be two ways. One, AI could be how aliens communicate with us once they realize, oh, we have this super intelligence, and they communicate through AI to us. Or AI helps us uncover the truth about aliens and our reality more, right? So in that sense, it could be part of the bigger picture. But I think either way, wherever the story goes about aliens, AI will play a part. What part is hard to determine, but I think it will play a part because it'll just be such a part of human society. So I don't know how it won't play a part, and to what extent. But great question, Crooked Peach. That's a great question. I actually wish I could talk a little bit more about that, but I gotta keep moving along. Yeah, that's a good question. Gifting is contagious. Thanks for all you do, my podcast, Fred. Thank you, Randy Wilson. I appreciate you. Love the pooch there in the profile picture, man. Love that. That's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna go 13 more minutes, y'all. I'm going 30 more minutes than I said I would, but we're having fun here. So, Adam says Mick West is also spreading a little bit of nonsense from time to time. Sure, nobody's immune to it. Everyone. People try to separate people. I get it. Mick West isn't always right, but neither is Gary Nolan. Neither is this person, that person. We're all a little wrong and maybe a little right sometimes. Everybody. You know what I mean? And I like everybody. I try to talk and listen to everybody. I like Mick West. I like Gary Nolan. You know, it's just how it goes, and everything that comes with that. You know, I talk to people who are skeptical. I talk to people who are full-blown believers. I talk to people who have experiences. I talk to people who don't have experiences. I don't judge anybody by their opinions on UFO videos or UFOs or aliens or whatever. That's just weird to me. Me personally, that's not how I judge someone's character or who they are as a person. So I like talking to people that think differently about it. It doesn't bother me to take in all the different information because it's an individual journey. So, and everyone's journey changes, right? And everyone's skeptic. I say this all the time. Everyone's a skeptic because if you've believed everything you've ever heard in the UFO community, right, that's the only way you're not a skeptic. So I'm sure you've heard a story in the UFO community you didn't believe. Guess what? You're a skeptic, right? You don't believe everything, so you're a skeptic. That's how it works. And skeptics too. Do they not believe any story they've ever heard? Maybe there's one story that's a little compelling. Maybe they're a believer, right? So we're all believers and skeptics. Kind of a mix. A mix. Patrick, what if disclosure ends up being a tool falsely accusing people of being shape-shifting aliens amongst us? What if it comes from White House and ends up another method from rounding people up? Well, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. I don't know what to think about that. That's a tough one. I will admit that's a tough one. I don't know. Have you ever withheld bombshell information? No. No. I don't have sources, y'all. People don't tell me secrets. I've had private conversations with people, but we don't talk about any bombshell information. You know what I mean? It's like, no. It's just personal stuff usually, and little things about the community or this or that, right? Like that's it. No, I don't play the source game or secrets or let me hold this information till people have tried that with me lots of times. And I always turn it down. I politely decline. I say no. I don't want anything to do with that. People have tried to give me quote bombshell information, but I think it's gotten around enough in the community. I just don't play that. So most people have given up trying to get me on into that game. But I just don't play it, to be honest with you. All right, we got 10 minutes here. Did you know Amazon is about to come out with 1 to 3 hour delivery? I think that's what a lot of the drones are for, testing, but some were orbs. All right, that's interesting. That would be so funny to just find out it was just Amazon delivery drones that were responsible this whole time. That's kind of funny. Oh man. Do I have pets? Yes. I have a dog. I got a little puppy. He's actually over here laying down. I don't want to bother him. If my camera moved, I'd show him to you. Okay. Oosh. Okay. Just want to say congrats on K. I'm always looking forward to your next video. Every day's a gift, y'all. Thank you so much. Rest. Oh man. Okay, yeah, literally. Restro Thunder Road. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I mean that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Chris Bledsoe said that drones were American, not UFOs. He said that a guy flashed a light into one, and the next day FBI showed up. Yeah, I got opinions on Chris Bledsoe, and not my cup of tea. But teach their own. Everyone should do what they want, follow who they want. Let's give a shout out to Heiser. Heiser, my man. Heiser's been here a long time as a moderator for Vetted. Man, Heiser. I think it's coming up on a couple years. I think it's been a couple years now. I would say, I don't remember how many subscribers. Maybe I had 10,000 subscribers. Maybe less than that. I don't know. Heiser's been around a long time, y'all. So huge shout out to Heiser for sticking it through. The longest running mod I've had by far in Discord and on YouTube. Solid, absolutely solid individual, absolutely amazing person, and just couldn't be more thankful to have him around, to be honest with you. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Heiser, man. And huge shout out to Heiser. Always welcome on the Discord. Yeah, you put a link to our Discord if you want to join a Discord. That's where I talk a lot, y'all. I hang out in open mics. I guess I'm trying to do once a week now. They're kind of just random. I'll just be like jumping in open mic in 5 minutes. Join me. But I'll stay for hours. So it's not like I jump in for 5 minutes and I'm out, but I'll stay for hours. I did one last night. It was like 4 hours. I just hang out. Everyone's on a mic. We all talk, jump in, talk, give your opinion, get whatever. We just bullshit about UFOs and all kinds of stuff, honestly. So if you really want to talk to me, that's the best way. Or just wait for one of these live streams. But if you're trying to just hang out, now it's just a hangout. It's not. Not really a fan of people trying to come in and tell me stuff and say, because I've had people try to come in and give me secrets and that don't bother. I'm gonna shut you down. It's really a chance for everyone to have a voice in there. And I really like hearing from other people in there, what they think and what's going on. And we all kind of hang out together. I'm no more important there than anyone else. We're all on the same level. We're all, we're all there to talk and hang out. We're all giving our own time, personal time to be in there. And I think that's important to do that. All right, we got 5 minutes. My voice is getting shot, to be honest with you, to do this. I'm going to show this one last time. Okay. Again, just want to say thank you. We reached 100,000. It was a goal. We made it. Very happy, very proud. Everyone did it. I want to just congratulate everyone that has helped me along the way. This is for all of us. I wish I could give everybody one of these to celebrate it, but this is for all of us here. I'll find a way to put in the background of my videos, but I don't really want to, if I'm being honest. My background's kind of clean right now, and I just don't want to put a YouTube button in there. It feels a little weird, to be honest with you. But maybe I'll do it. I'll find a way. I am proud of it, so I don't want people to think I'm not proud of it. But I'm moving on. I'm ready to get to 1 million. Let's go, baby. I got some big things planned for this year, and I got big things planned for next year too. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes to get going, and very excited, to be honest with you, with where Vetted's at and where we're going, and very excited. Very, 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 very excited. First step is this documentary coming out. Made that last year when I had, I don't know how many subscribers. I think I had like 50,000 subscribers. So I've come a long way. And yeah, first thing is that documentary coming out. Took a year, basically a year. That's not bad. 1 year. It'll come out essentially 1 year. So yeah, that's exciting. But I want to thank everybody for hanging out and asking some really great questions. And that's it. I don't want to ramble on here. I just appreciate all the support. I appreciate y'all. And we'll do more of these, right? Where we just, no rhyme or reason, just hang out. We will have a YouTube members only live stream coming up. I'm doing that every month now on the first of the month. April 1st, April Fool's Day. We'll be having another members only live stream. So that's not too far away. And then I just mix in other, live streams for everybody. We had Pavel on the last one we did. So I'll be doing another one of those kind of soon with, bring somebody else on, or, we'll cover a bunch of stories and that sort of thing. I'm sure I'll do that next week. About what and who, I don't know. But I'll try to let y'all know, give y'all time to let y'all know when that happens. Yeah, this was great. Had a blast. And I'm ready to go eat dinner. It's 9:30. That's dinner time here in Spain, roughly. And we'll do this again, y'all. Right? We'll do this again. Again, thank you for everyone hanging out. Had a blast. And we'll see everyone on the next video. Remember, like I always say, y'all. I will say this. I got a video coming out about the Matthew Brown episode that just got released. I got a video coming out about that tomorrow. I've been working on it all day. It's just taken me a long time. There's a lot to put together for that video. But that'll be out tomorrow. And very excited to share that. That's going to be a really, really, really good video. So, all right, betters. Every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.